and welcome to Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. We are coming to you live from the CNN News 18 Federal Bank Prime Time studio as we count down to the second phase of elections, 88 seats across 13 states. This phase is critical for the BJP because in 2019, it won 52 out of these 88 seats at a strike rate of close to 60%, which perhaps explains why the Prime Minister has been making a no-holds-barred attack on the Congress party. It started with Mangal Sutra, then inheritance tax, and now the fear around quotas. Today, the Prime Minister repeated his line that the Congress wants to snatch away quotas from SC, STs and OBCs and give it to Muslims, just like they have done in Karnataka and in Andhra Pradesh. In Karnataka, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has hit back, saying that this is a quota that has been in existence for the last 30 years. It was first brought in Karnataka in 1994 when Mr. H.D. Deve Gowda was Chief Minister of the state. Mr. Deve Gowda and his party, the JDS, today are allies with the BJP. So the question is, as Karnataka, one half of Karnataka goes to polls tomorrow, 14 out of 28 seats, a state in which the BJP got a maximum number of seats. Will this become the singular talking point? Will this charge of appeasement by the Prime Minister and the BJP stick, or is this a sign of desperation? That's what we will put to our political panel that will be joining us in just a moment. But first, the story of the day so far.
कांग्रेस सरकार ने कर्नाटका में जितने भी मुस्लिम समाज के लोग हैं, रातों रात एक कागज निकालकर हस्ताक्षर करके उन सबको ओबीसी घोषित कर दिया।
4% ರಿಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮಾರು ಮೋರ್ ದೆನ್ 20 ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ 28 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ 94ನೇ ಇಸ್ವಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾರಿಗೆ ಬಂತು।
ये कर्नाटक में आरक्षण 1994 में लागू हुआ था। इन 30 सालों में 9 साल कर्नाटक में वो 3-4 मुख्यमंत्री थे कर्नाटक में बीजेपी के। आज प्रधानमंत्री ये मुद्दा उठा रहे हैं।
All right, before I go to our political panel that's joining us tonight on Brass Tacks, I want to show you why tomorrow's phase 2 is critical for the BJP. It's 88 seats. Let's just bring you up to speed with what those 88 seats are. This is phase 2, which is polling on the 26th of April. It's across 13 states. The biggest, of course, are in the south. 14 out of 28 seats in Karnataka are polling, and 20 out of 20 seats in Kerala are polling. Also, the half of Rajasthan, that is 12 out of 25 seats, is also polling tomorrow. There are seats in the northeast, in Assam. The outer Manipur seat is polling. In Tripura, 1 seat is polling. You also have about 8 seats in Maharashtra that are polling tomorrow. But like I said, what is critical for the BJP is out of the 88 seats that are polling tomorrow, in 2019, the BJP won 52 of those seats. The Congress had only 18 of those seats. Just look at where the BJP got those seats. A bulk of those seats came from Karnataka. Remember, out of this 14, the BJP won 12 out of 14 in Karnataka, which is critical, which is why they want to repeat that performance in 2024. In Rajasthan, again, all the seats, all 12 that are going to polls tomorrow, the BJP had won. This time round, there is a voter apathy on the ground, like you saw in the first phase in the Shekhawati belt, where you saw a decreased voter turnout. So the Prime Minister trying to negate that by making this sharp pitch. Will the BJP voter come out in the rest of the half of Rajasthan tomorrow? That's going to be a critical question. In Maharashtra, the BJP out of the 8 seats had only 3. The Shiv Sena, the unified Shiv Sena back in 2019, had won 3. So it's going to be a direct battle between Shiv Sena versus BJP in this belt, including the seat of Nanded, where of course Ashok Chavan, that whole critical factor is going to come into play, all this import-export of leaders. There is of course the Bean Morena belt in Madhya Pradesh. There are 3 seats in Chhattisgarh, and like I said, in the northeast as well. I want to quickly run our viewers through Karnataka and Kerala because of course for the BJP, the big south push tomorrow is the second phase, 26th of April, 14 seats. And if you look at it, the BJP had won all except 3. Bangalore Rural, which was won by DK Suresh of the Congress. The Mandya seat, which was won by Sumalata Ambarish. She's, of course, now joined the BJP. Back then, she was an independent. And, of course, the Hassan seat, which was won by Prajwal Revanna, the grandson of H.T. Devegowda. So, if you look at the BJP seats, the 12 out of 14 that they won, 59.68% vote share, almost 60% vote share for the BJP last time around. And if you look at the JDS, which is now combined with the BJP, the JDS had 11 percentage points last time around. The Congress last time had 31% vote share, but a bulk of it came from this, in terms of seat victories, there was only 1 seat, which is DK Suresh, the brother of the current Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. DK Shivkumar. One critical factor for the Congress in this state, and I'm going to double filter this with phase 2 as well as the 2023 assembly leads. Remember, in 2023, the Congress party won with a sweeping majority, 135 MLAs. If you were to convert assembly to Lok Sabha, this is what the situation looks like. The Congress could possibly get 3 out of the 14 that are going. Last time around, they had only 1. Which are those 3? The Congress is in relatively strong position. This is a reserve seat, Chamarajnagar. It's an SC seat. And then you have the seat of Chitradurga, which was won by A. Narayanaswamy. Again, I think it's a reserve seat, if I'm not mistaken. But the Congress potentially is in play in these 3 seats because of what they're calling these guarantees. Now, I want to shift focus to the state of Kerala, where the BJP is yet to open its account. Last time, the UDF won 18 out of 20 seats. The LDF had 2, but one of those seats was Alapura, which is the seat that was won by Mr. Arif. Today, KC Venugopal is fighting that seat. And the other seat, which was an interesting one, Kottayam seat, which was won by the Kerala Congress Mani party. Back then in 2019, they were part of the UDF. Now, they are part of the LDF. Which are the BJP-focused seats as far as the state of Kerala is concerned? Let's go from south to north. The high-stakes battle between Shashi Tharoor and Rajiv Chandrasekhar in the seat of Thiruvananthapuram, that is one big focus seat as far as the BJP is concerned. The second one, the neighbouring seat of Attingal, where last time around Shobha Surendran came in second with a 30% plus vote share. This time Union MOS MEA, Mr. Muralidharan is contesting from Attingal. You go further up, there is the seat of Pathanamthitta, where Mr. A.K. Antony's son Anil Antony is contesting. It's a 3-way fight. Anil Antony against Anto Antony, who's the sitting MP, versus Thomas Isaac, who used to be the finance minister in the LDF government in the previous term. Alapura, which was a lone seat won by the CPM last time around, again a 3-way fight. KC Venugopal, the powerful organizational general secretary of the Congress, he's taking on Shobha Surendran, who, by the way, like I said, last time around had the best vote share for a BJP candidate. Shobha Surendran has shifted the constituency. She's now fighting from Alapura, taking on the sitting MP, A.M. Arif. And then, of course, in the north, you have the Wayanad seat, where Rahul Gandhi is the sitting MP. He won by a large margin last time around. This time, it's a 3-way fight. The BJP has fielded its state president, Mr. K. Surendran. Annie Raja of the CPI is also fighting that seat. And this seat exemplifies what is clearly a no-holds-barred attack between the CPM and the Congress that's been going on, particularly between Rahul Gandhi and Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. So, this is the critical factor. Let's go back to the India map. 88 seats as far as the BJP is concerned in this big high-stakes battle. The BJP needs to turn out its vote in Karnataka, where they won 12 out of 14, in Rajasthan, where they won all 12, and of course, in Maharashtra, where it's a straight battle between the Shiv Sena and the BJP. Let me now bring in our political panel that's joining us. Here in our studios, I'm joined by Shehzad Poonawalla, spokesperson of the BJP, Matthew Antony, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Iftikhar Misgar is a political analyst, and Rajat Sethi, political analyst, also joining us. So let's start with this whole quota business, Shehzad Poonawalla. Today, the Prime Minister, speaking in a rally, said that the Karnataka government introduced quotas overnight. The Congress snatched away the rights of OBCs. This is a political appeasement tactic of the Congress Party. The Congress is saying, and Chief Minister Siddaramaiah said that, you heard Jairam Ramesh as well, this is a quota that has been in existence in Karnataka for the last 30 years. It was introduced in 1994 when Mr. Deve Gowda was Chief Minister. He's now your ally.
Just a fact check on this. It was not introduced by Deve Gowda ji. It was introduced by Veerappa Moily ji. Here is a statement of Mr. Veerappa Moily. Mr. Moily was the Chief Minister till December 1994. Mr. Deve Gowda, on the basis of court orders, followed it. Mr. Veerappa Moily, you can check your own channel records also. The bite was given to many of your journalists. And apart from that, it was Mr. Bommai who had scrapped it and transferred that additional reservation to the Vokkaligas and the Lingayats.
But that went to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court stayed it.
Fair enough, but I'm telling you what my government did. So this is the stand. Now, Congress should tell us whether they are for it or against it. Secondly, let me give you some other instances which will bolster.
So can I also ask, from 1994, since this quota was introduced, your party was in power either in alliance or on your own for, I believe, 14 out of these 30 years.
That's right.
What did you do to remove this quota?
So, I'll tell you, the fact of the matter is that many times this matter went to courts, and I'll tell you some other examples also parallelly, so that my entire argument is based on facts. In Andhra Pradesh, Congress Party took out a quota from the OBC and made OBC e-quota and gave it to Muslims. It was struck down by the courts. They kept doing it over and over again. Apart from that, you would remember that even in Uttar Pradesh elections in 2012, Mr. Salman Khurshid said that 9% out of 27% will be given and it would come out from the OBC quota, and that was in the manifesto. Apart from that, Ranganath Mishra committee report, which was accepted, and Mr. Siddaramaiah in fact is on record to say that I am implementing it, said in para 16, 12, 17 that out of the 27% OBC quota, 6% for Muslims. Then in para 1637, it is saying that the SC list should also include Muslims, and in another paragraph it has gone on and it said that under 16.4 of the Constitution, Muslims should be treated as backwards, which is against Ambedkarji's vichar. And finally, let me give you one more example.
No, 1 second. So your contention is there are no backwards amongst Muslims? Is that your contention?
First of all, it is very offensive to me as a Muslim.
I'm asking you a question because you just said it's against Ambedkarji's vision. Is it your contention?
Yes, I'll tell
that
you.
There are no backwards amongst Muslims.
Zaka, Abrahamic faiths, you know that they have no caste-based discrimination in Abrahamic faiths. So, when the Congress party tries to imply that the religion has such kind of caste-based differences. So what are Pasmanda Muslims? But Pasmanda Muslims are based on class, not on caste.
So they are not backward?
They are backward on economic front, and they get reservation under EWS, not under the entire community being grouped. See, look, let me make my point without just 20 seconds. The fact is that religion-based reservation is completely illegal and unconstitutional as per our constitution. The entire Muslim community by the Congress was given OBC reservation and categorized as backward in Karnataka, not just in Karnataka, in Andhra, in Ranganath Mishra committee report, in Uttar Pradesh they had proposed it. And let me give you one more example. NCBC last year came up with a report that in Bengal, out of the 179 OBC castes, 118 are Muslims. Now, can you imagine, even if there are some people in the Muslim community who are backward, say a Jamadar, A, B, C, D, E, F, how can 117, 18 be from the Muslims and so little from the Hindus? And finally, I have also got statement of Revant Reddy where he is saying that we will give Muslim reservation of 4%, come what may. This is our agenda. Now, two questions. One small question. One, can religious reservation be justified? And two, can it be given out of OBC quota? These two questions should be answered.
Matthew Antony, please respond. The Constitution is explicit. Providing reservations and affirmative action is only for backward classes and not for religious minorities. So you are going against the Constitution when you have, and particularly so when you have within the OBC quota, 4% quota for Muslims. Please respond.
Sagar, thank you for making me in the show. And let me also tell you this, that let us look into our manifesto. Can you specify in any place where we have promised in our manifesto anything specific to any particular religion? We have said that the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBCs, women, and all other minorities put together, we will give requirements for them, empowerment for them, as well as we have put across the fact that we will do a caste survey on this. Now, coming back to this, let us not deviate from the electoral issues which we are facing now. The electoral issue is, I just need to put across these factual questions to the BJP spokesperson here also. On 2014, the then Gujarat Chief Minister, who was a Prime Minister candidate, made a promise of 15 lakhs to the people. Have you lied to the people of India on this?
No, but Mr. Anthony,
There is no reply.
That is not the focus. That is not the focus tonight.
I am denying the fact that in our manifesto we have never made a specific comment on a particular religion.
It's not there in your manifesto. Agreed. Point taken.
Yeah. So why is the point in debating that?
No. Because
when we are coming to government,
the Prime Minister has been making this attack repeatedly that in Karnataka and in Andhra Pradesh, the Congress party has been at the forefront of introducing quotas for Muslims within the backward quota. So you have to respond to that.
My simple answer to this is, that as far as a national political party for the Lok Sabha elections, we have made it very clear that we have not made any specific comments on any particular religion. And this is basically a diversion strategy because of the sheer desperateness of failure that Narendra Modi is making a statement.
Okay,
Whereas we are saying that sheer desperation. And we are saying the fact that there are no replies from the BJP on the factual lies. The Prime Minister has repeatedly a habitual liar in terms of the price rise. They made a remark against the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh that about the dollar, that the dollar price was 60 rupees, and then they made a teasing remark or a sarcastic remark on the Prime Minister, saying that the dollar price is catching up with the age of the Prime Minister then.
Okay.
And give us 50 days. We have given 3,650 days to Modi. And where is the answer?
Okay, I don't think this election is being fought on the dollar price, but yeah, Shehzad Poonawalla to respond. Are you clinging on? One second, let me ask him. Why are you clinging on to these polarizing, divisive Hindu-Muslim issues? Is it because you're desperate with the low voter turnout in the first phase? So you need to rally the base. That's why the Prime Minister is indulging in all this.
Your question will also be answered in the course of my answer. So just be patient with 30-40 seconds. First of all, Zaka, Chidambaram ji said CA will be revoked. It's not there in the manifesto. There are many things that they do manifesto, and then there are some manifestations. So we have to see both manifesto and manifestation. The manifestation is not just about Prime Minister saying about Karnataka. It is an NCBC constitutional body report, sir, on the basis of which Prime Minister has said that you have given entire Muslim community. Look, few castes, if you identify, according to you, as Muslims are backward, I can understand. But entire Muslim community can be placed as backward and taken out from the OBC quota.
One second. In Karnataka, it's 14 plus 14, 28 categories of Muslims who've been given this. So it's not entire Muslim category.
Let me correct you. The NCBC has said this. Forget you and me.
The quota as it exists in Karnataka is 14 plus 14, 28 categories
Zaka,
of
my friend,
Muslims.
it's
Okay,
not,
go on.
Forget
Make
my
your next
statement,
point.
Forget my statement, your statement. I am quoting from NCBC report.
Make your next point.
Unless the NCBC is lying. Secondly, I am saying that I have given the instance of Uttar Pradesh 2012 when Mr. Salman Khurshid as law minister said 9% will come out of OBC quota. You ask your research to give you that statement. I am saying the Rangnath Mishra committee report.
But these are points you've made already in your first answer.
The reason I'm saying it is because looking at that track record, these parties which say we are for Dalits are actually for Dalit. I'll give you a specific example from the manifesto. First time the Dalits have got their rights under the constitution is when 370 was abrogated. They have said we want to reimpose 370. And this is in their manifesto and manifestation. And sir, this is Revant Reddy.
परसों मैं देखा पिछले बार भी छबल्ला में और परसों भी अमित शाह जी ने ये कह रहा है कि मुसलमानों को जो कांग्रेस पार्टी 4% रिजर्वेशन दिया था भारतीय जनता पार्टी निकालने वाले हैं। मैं साफ अमित शाह जी से कहना चाहता हूं ये कांग्रेस की सरकार है, तेलंगाना में कांग्रेस के अड्डा है, 4% रिजर्वेशन निकालने का ये मत ना नरेंद्र मोदी।
So he is accepting that they do give 4% reservation only on basis of being Muslim. Revant Reddy has said this. Forget me, forget you, forget NCBC. Now I've given the proof. Now he should answer. Is it as per Ambedkar? And secondly, why to entire community from OBC quota?
I want to move to the second one, which is of course the Mangal Sutra inheritance tax business. And let me ask Rajat Sethi this. So this inheritance tax business was there in India from 1963 till 1985. And then in 1985, when Mr. Rajiv Gandhi was Prime Minister, they removed the inheritance tax. The Congress is coming out and saying that they have nothing to do with Sam Petroda, nothing to do with his opinion about this, and nowhere in their manifesto or their leaders are saying anything about inheritance tax. And in any case, it's a Congress Prime Minister who removed inheritance tax. The BJP is saying the only reason Mr. Gandhi did that in 1985 is so that his mother's wealth, her properties, go to her grandchildren.
That is true, Jaka. I mean, Rajiv Gandhi removed inheritance tax so that he could inherit the entire wealth of Indira Gandhi. It's as simple as that. I mean, look at Menka Gandhi's old interviews, very old ones, at least 3-4 decades old, and you will get your answers. There is no doubt about it. The problem here is, see, inheritance tax from an economic justice lens, is it a good scheme, not a good scheme? This is not in the din of the election. Why do you want to come out and debate that and expose yourself to blistering attacks from the BJP? It is, first of all, you don't have conviction. Half of your party still, by the way, Rahul Gandhi is well advised by Sam Pitroda and others, and he's thoroughly convinced internally. Look at his pronouncements. He's largely clear that I will impose inheritance tax eventually. The problem is they don't have the guts to own that, to own a policy measure, because they themselves haven't done the exercise to basically go through the nitty-gritties of it, understand how do you market a policy shift like that,
But
how do you go about convincing
Rajat, the Congress
and BJP has taken them to the cleaners.
The Congress's contention
Rightly
is
so.
that when Mr. Jaitley was finance minister, he was in favor of an inheritance tax. He said, and I quote, large funds to hospitals, universities via inheritance tax in the West is a good idea. Jayant Sinha, he was former MOS finance in 2013. He said, for equal opportunities, we need estate taxes. So their contention is even BJP has backed this idea in the past.
Well, even more of an evidence and the proof that BJP has consistently been in power for 10 years and they did not move an inch on this because they believe that where India stands today, there is not enough wealth that has been created nationwide. We are basically, we've just started embracing risk and creating entrepreneurial abilities nationwide. This is not the right step wherein you come in and penalize people who are trying to, take that route, trying to create wealth and trying to come out of the poverty circle and become a developed country. You do that. This is the problem. Congress party is consistently being advised by these economists who have a very, very American point of view. They don't understand that cut copy economic policies do not work anywhere.
Iftigar, Miskar, taking on what Rajat Sethi's point is that nowhere in the developing world, and we all agree that India is still a developing country. Of course, we have the dream and aspiration of becoming a Viksit Bharat by 2047. I spoke to Dr. Surjit Bhalla yesterday, one of the most renowned economists in this country. He was former executive director with the IMF. He says there is not a single example of a developing country where there is an inheritance tax. Inheritance tax is there in the US, UK, Singapore, etc., which are all developed countries. So why then is the Congress party clinging on to this, or at least some within the Congress party, like Mr. Pitroda, seem to be clinging on to this, Iftigar Miskar? Mr. Miskar. Okay, I think we lost that line with him. Let me go back to him in just a moment whenever we have that audio. But Matthew Anthony, this is an outdated, ill-fitted idea for Hindustan, for Bharat. Why are some people in your party sort of clinging on to such an idea? And why aren't the leaders of your party coming out and categorically saying, Mr. Pitroda's advice, thank you, but no thank you. We have no interest in such a concept.
Saka, that has already been done yesterday, if at all, that you have seen the tweets from Jairam Ramesh sir on the particular issue that this was a very personal comment made by Sam Pitroda and it has nothing to do with the party officially. And we stand by that. And this is a distraction again from the BJP. And then, I can only laugh at the analyst comment that, the Rajiv Gandhi backed the scrapping of inheritance tax only for inheriting his own wealth, as if like India was only the only family in India was Rajiv Gandhi's family. There are crores of people in this country. And then what about the statements made by TV Mohan Das Pai? What about the statements made by Jayant Sinha, Arun Jaitley and Amit Malviya supporting inheritance tax? And now look at, all this Rajat Singh, all the economists burst out on the risk-taking part of the country. Who opened up the country with terms of the BFSI sector? Who opened up the ITS sector? BJP made a ruckus out of the telecom sector, and now all the people are acquitted. And which are the largest economies, which are the largest sectors which are creating employment and entrepreneurship opportunities in this country? And how does TV Mohan Das Pai, who was a big voice of BJP, became a billionaire?
Mr. Misgar is back on the broadcast. Yes, Mr. Misgar.
Yeah, well, I didn't. Can I hear you?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I'm asking you the question about inheritance tax. The BJP's contention is Congress party wants to take away your Mangal Sutra, wants to take away your family wealth and give it to Muslims.
See, let me start at the point that in last phase, the phase the BJP has faced in 100 odd seats election, the BJP seems quite frustrated. He has nothing to sell. the BJP raises incumbency questions like economy, the price hikes, and now BJP is pushing everything into the religious, then other questions which carries no value at the point of elections. At this point of time, we
No,
must
no.
be
What
discussing-
basis are you saying that? You have to have some data to make that point. What is
Definitely,
the
see, we have witnessed. I'm basically from Jammu and Kashmir, and we have witnessed the elections, the first phase of elections in Jammu. The quite perception of the people is coming out that BJP is losing the seat which was on poll on the same day, and the seat was very important for them because Narendra Modi's right-hand person is contested from there, and see the
no, this
targeting-
is a perception. This is not data. Please cite
No,
data
perception,
for
it's
what
not
you're saying.
It is not perception, since we travel across, we have faced the people and we have questioned people. People
Okay.
are not happy.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
these
One second.
all these strategies. People simply wanted to know what we have achieved, what country has achieved out of this government since last 10 years.
What have you achieved?
cannot run
I'll
this
come to
government
that,
on
Zaka.
one
but-
what have you
but
achieved,
Let me,
Shehzad Munawar,
Zaka, I
in 10 years?
implore you that because on the inheritance tax issue, just give me 20-30 seconds, please, to place some facts. First of all, Rajat Sethi is not lying. It is Montreal Gazette, 22nd February 1984, Sentinel, 3rd May 1985, Eugene Register Guard, Grainsville, Sunday, UPI Agency. All of them have quoted how $1,75,000 worth estate of Indira Gandhi was transferred to Rajiv, and it was for that reason. It's all quoted. It's in the public domain. Now, the Congress was in power for many years. They should have contradicted it if it was not true. Now, let me come to the Sam Pitroda bit. Sam Pitroda is the Overseas Congress Party president. He's an important office bearer. Either there can be two situations. Either the statement is made with consent of Congress or without consent. If it is with consent, then to is their stand. If it's without consent, no action is taken on a statement which is so big and is causing so much embarrassment.
No, but they've clearly distanced themselves. No
Zaka,
less
one
than
second.
Jairam Ramesh has come out and
Zaka,
said
one
we have
second.
nothing to do with it.
Zaka, one second. Before Matthew ji interrupts, I am asking a different question. This statement, we have lapped up, we are spreading propaganda, we've got a tool to hit the Congress with, which is not true. Sam Pitroda is known for making many kinds of gaffes. Hua to hua, surgical strike approved, Pulwama doesn't mean Pakistan is bad. All of these statements, he's a serial offender. Yet, Matthew ji does not get to meet Rahul Gandhi. Mr. Sam Pitroda is standing next to the elbow of Rahul. So why don't they act on it? Because, and let me please complete. This is not a statement of Sam. It is a statement of the Parivar fam. I'll tell you why. Mr. Chidambaram in 2011 not just made a statement, but in fact sent it to the Planning Commission. And as recently as 22nd of March 2023, he has written an article in Indian Express, I can quote it, he has advocated for inheritance tax. And Mr. Jaitley, last 10 seconds. Please read that article, Zaka. You know what has happened. Congress has lied about Jaitley ji. You please get the full article from your research team. Mr. Jaitley has mockingly said that this inheritance tax is so useless that to bypass it, the Americans devised a system of investing in endowments and charities. In fact, here is the official stand of his ministry as he was the finance minister. Inheritance tax unlikely to be reimposed. Here is the official stand, printed by Business Standard. So, Mr. Zaka, and I can accept that one or two people, by the way, Mr. Jayant Sinha was not MOS in 2013. We didn't have a government. He made that statement in 2013.
Before he came to government, yeah.
But it is categorical stand of BJP as said by Mr. Jaitley that there was no plans to ever reimpose it. But I have a question today, just 20 seconds now. When your political legacy has to be inherited, 100% goes to Rahul. But here, 55% of my shop, 55% of my land, and 55% of my savings you will take. This is the manifestation, not just the manifesto, but the manifestation of Congress. Zindagi ke baad bhi loot, zindagi ke saath bhi loot.
Matthew Anthony, Mr. Sam Pitroda is a serial offender from Hua to Hua to proof of surgical strikes. And now every time there seems to be an election around the corner, Mr. Pitroda comes up with something controversial. Why don't you act against him? You acted against Mani Shankar Iyer. Why is the Congress party so beholden to this gentleman who's not even in India? He's sitting somewhere in the US.
Chicago.
See, Saka, we have very clearly distanced and the party has made an official stand. It was a personal statement from Mr. Pitroda and we have nothing to do with it, with our manifesto, with our election promises.
No, so make an example. Take action against him.
That will be decided by the party leadership. However, they will consider and they will take a decision on that one. Whereas with respect to the position of the party, we have made it amply clear that
you're saying party leadership will take a call. The fact that the party leadership has not taken a call despite serial offences by Mr. Pitroda seems to give the impression that the leadership is okay with what Mr. Pitroda is saying.
No, he himself, Jaka,
Serial offences, I don't have to agree with, what Shehzad is saying about the serial offences. We have taken a stand on this particular issue, and, we have clearly said that the party is not standing by that statement.
You don't think there was anything wrong with what he said about hua to hua?
See, my job is not to debate Sam Pitroda here. My job is to debate about the country's election and what the Congress party stands for the country's election. Let's keep the Sam Pitroda. If at all you want to debate Sam Pitroda, then I have to debate about a lot of lies made by the PM Narendra Modi. Are you ready for it?
Shehzad Poonawalla, are you ready? Are these the issues that matter to the people?
Let's assume that Sam Pitroda is not relevant. Here is the article of Mr. Chidambaram in 2023 where he has argued for inheritance tax. I am opening the article. The net is slow here, but here, pivot to the bottom 50%. Anybody can go and read the Indian Express article. It's March 5th, 2023. He's advocated for inheritance tax. Therefore, it's a Congress party strategy. But the hypocrisy is, for their own family, they will remove it, and for others' family, for Hindu undivided family, they will impose it. Now, on the issues. Sir Zaka, my manifesto says global manufacturing hub, housing for all, piped water for all, gas connection for all, tapped water for all. Their manifesto says personal law, which means Sharia and triple talaq back, in a sense. Their manifesto says certain community judges, certain community empowerment should be done by giving them scholarship. Their manifesto says, the left manifesto says that nuclear power should be dismantled. And by the way, the left manifesto, the CPIM manifesto, I'm showing you the copy of it. It actually talks about inheritance tax. So I forgot that point first. The left manifesto actually talks about it, and I'll show you the copy of it so that you can see it.
Okay, you find it. Let me go to Rajat Sethi. Rajat Sethi, the point is that, this idea of redistribution of wealth, this has been going on for a long time in Indian politics. I mean, one would argue that when the rich and the middle class and the tax-paying citizens give tax, and some of that tax is then given as subsidies, food subsidies and fertilizer subsidies and other subsidies, that's also a form of redistribution.
Perfectly fine. But you don't need to do an X-ray of the nation in order to do redistribution. The problem is that this X-ray is sinister in the design in itself. The problem is that Rahul Gandhi wants to create divides. The problem is that he wants to completely entangle the whole country into perfectly zero-sum problems. This is where his imagination is not able to think that how do I increase the size of the pie so that people who are below the poverty line can have a respectful way of coming above the poverty line. The problem is that this person is surrounded by leftist hardcore communists who have experimented in every single country, be it African countries, Venezuela, here and there and everywhere, and they have failed everywhere. All these ideas that he's talking about have largely failed. He wants to, through his council of advisors, he wants to try and experiment.
Before I get Matthew Anthony to respond, I've got the final couple of minutes. But Rajat, the point is, and I'm going back to data from the PLFS survey over the last 20 years. In 2004, when UPA 1 came to power, the top 1% of India controlled 23% of India's wealth. In 2022-23, for which we have the last data, the top 1% have 37% of India's wealth. There's been an increase of 14%.
Jaka, the most official measurement of inequality in any economy is the Gini coefficient.
Correct.
Look at when did the Gini coefficient peak and what has been the trend on the Gini coefficient. The Gini coefficient peaked around 2011. And ever since that, it has been consistently reducing.
Okay.
This is the reason.
Yeah. One point.
Shehzad, quickly.
The Gini coefficient, rightly said by Rajat, in 2014 was 0.48. Closer it is to one more inequality. Today it is 0.40. Secondly, the highest concentration of wealth in the hands of 1% happened between 1987 to 92 to 97. And see Shamika Ravi's entire portrayal of the data out there. And finally, this is the left manifesto, CPIM manifesto. Please read this point. Raise taxes on rich corporate profits. You can read it yourself, sir. I'm not lying. This is an India Alliance manifesto.
Raise taxes on rich and corporate profits, restore wealth tax for super rich, and introduce inheritance tax, restore long-term capital gains tax.
This is CPIM manifesto.
Mr. Anthony, they are your allies in the rest of India, but you are rivals in Kerala.
Yes, we are. So my question to you, to the BJP as well as the economists here is, in the last 10 years, if the country was growing so good, with all the policies of BJP,
are you with this or against this?
The unemployment rate.
Sorry, we can have that debate next time. Please tell me
Shehzad,
about
I
this
didn't-
point,
I
inheritance
didn't interrupt
tax.
you.
Well,
I
okay, let him
didn't-
make
I
his
didn't
point. Yeah.
interrupt.
No,
I
no.
didn't-
What
I
is your
didn't
point? What is your point?
So I'm saying, that why is the unemployment rate so high in this country, the economy, and
No,
all,
no.
all the
It was
policies
high
of
some
BJP
years
were
ago.
very
It's
good.
not. It's not high
It's
now.
3.1%.
21 billionaires in this country hold 70% of the country's wealth.
Okay.
So, and when we are saying in our manifesto, we are saying that 1 lakh per women per family will be distributed.
How
Is
much
that,
will it
we
cost?
are inheriting the wealth? Are we inheriting the
How
wealth
much will it cost?
of anybody else?
No,
How
no,
much
but
will it
this
cost?
this
Then-
is sarkari money. You're giving taxpayer money. Where is
As
this
if
money?
BJP is bringing,
Where?
as if- as
No, no.
if
Where
BJP
are you
is bringing
going?
their own money.
No, no.
As
But
if
where
BJP
are
is
you
bringing
going
their own
to?
money.
Where are you going to get this 1 lakh rupees from? Ultimately, it has to be from my tax and your tax and Shehzad's tax and Rajat's tax,
So
right?
who is paying the taxes right now, and where is BJP Modi's advertisements money coming from? Taka, I'm just asking you the question. Where
Ask him
all
how
the
many
petrol
people
pumps
will
have got
get it.
Modi's pictures,
What's the
where is the
figure?
money
No,
coming from?
so
Is it coming
one
from the BJP
1
party, or is
lakh
it coming from
1
anybody else?
lakh per year to all the women in this country. 50% of the population will
No,
get
poor
1 lakh.
women. Poor women. Poor women.
So how
many?
many? How many?
How many?
What is the
Cost.
So that is
quantif-
something, which we will decide, once we form
Oh,
the
so
government.
that's why
we
you
will have
need the
numbers
survey.
coming across. Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Praveen Chakravarti, by the way, said that it will cost 1 lakh crores per year, which means that there are 1 crore entitled beneficiaries for this, which means there will only 1 crore people fall in the category of poor as per Praveen Chakravarti, who is part of the manifesto committee. Secondly,
Okay.
sir, what is your stand on left saying we want to have inheritance tax?
That's the left manifesto. Once we form the
You're in
government, there will be a
alliance.
common minimum program agreed.
Okay.
That's what it is.
All right, we'll
we are
leave-
not going to decide
we-
on something, which is
we-
right now. We
we-
are allies right
we-
now, but they have their own idea.
We'll
We are
leave
fighting
it at
in
that.
Kerala.
Yeah. You clearly
We are
are fighting in
Kerala enemy,
Kerala,
so that's what it is.
and we'll know that tomorrow whether the people of Kerala are okay with this whole shadow boxing. It's not even shadow boxing; it's open boxing that's been going on specifically between Pinarayi
There's
Vijayan
no shadow there,
and
it's
Rahul Gandhi.
You're
Anyway,
going to
we'll leave it at
I
that.
know it very well.
Thank you to all our guests. Let's see how this plays out. Like I said, it's a critical phase for the BJP. 88 seats going to polls tomorrow. 52 were won by the BJP, only 18 by the Congress. And we'll be here nice and early from 7 a.m. till 12 noon. That's Anand Narasimhan, Rahul Shivshankar and myself in the best election news studio in India's election news headquarters with the biggest and brightest and the most sophisticated political pundits will be joining us from 7 a.m. So don't forget to join us right here on CNN News 18 for the best election news team on TV.